Okay, so pick a card.
Okay, is that a good one?
Yeah, terrific. But who's going to be impressed now when I tell you what card it is now that you've shown it to me?
Yeah, okay.
Let's try it again.
I think I see where you're going. This is going to be cool.
Take a card. Try and remember it this time. Put it back. Shuffle the cards.
I don't know what that means.
It means mix them up, so there's no way I could know which one is yours.
Okay, so let's put this one here. Maybe put this one.
What is that?
I'm mixing them up.
Give me that.
Okay, that's a little better,
Cut the cards.
which means
Lift some up, put them here. Good. Now look at the card that you cut to. Is that your card?
I don't know.
I told you to remember the card.
I know I lost track when I was ruffling the deck, but I do know it was one of the Virgin Queens, so you were probably dead on with that.
Trust me, that was your card.
We're looking for something a little bigger, something truly magical.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Well, good. I thought that's what you did.
No, I traffic in illusions.
Illusions.
Yeah, we create the illusion of magic. I can't really do magic. Nobody can. But I can make you think that I can.
Well, that doesn't seem right.
Look, people always want more than they really have. As a showman, you can give it to them.
Well, okay, but how do I do that?
Well, as a magician, I do it with illusion. But you're a god. You get to move straight on to deception.
That's fantastic.
That's what people want anyway. They want to live in a world of artificial wonder.
That is such a great point because I am totally fascinated by AstroTurf.
Well, AstroTurf is fascinating, but when you think about the processes of nature that go into creating a real blade of grass, I mean, who gives a damn?
Right, yeah, I know I don't. So what do we do then? How do I do this?
Two things. First, ignorance. Got that covered. And then secrecy. You have to keep everything shrouded in mystery.
Like Donald Trump's hair.
Like his entire career.
Right, okay, so obviously we're going to need a shroud. If I remember correctly, I think the boy has one. That should cut down on costs.
Not to mention scientific literacy.
Bonus. So what do we do after that?
Well, then you got to work on your look. I mean, 90% of your gig here is presentation, but this whole Gordon Gekko, James Lipton thing, that's got to go.
You don't like the look?
Well, some of us can pull that off, but some of us look like we're just working overtime to try and create a faux jawline.
Hurtful.
But then you have to work on your manual dexterity.
Okay. Now, I'm ahead of the game here because that's why I got this.
That's why you got what?
An invisible hand. I got it from Penn. He says it works fantastic on the grocery store or the
market. Free market.
Free market, right.
Look, Penn's a great magician, but that invisible hand thing is never going to work. It never has. You need something much better. Why not try giving Vishnu a call or Shiva? Maybe one of them can give you a hand?
Yeah, they're not returning my calls.
You get a lot of that?
Well, good.
Then, in order for any deception to work, though, you have to work on your misdirection skills.
Okay, now I'm all over this. I don't know if you saw the script, but I get the whole misdirection thing. I've told them don't kill, and then I order genocide. I said love your neighbor, but I say kill the homosexuals and the non-believers, and I say I love you. You're free to do what you want, but then I threaten them with hellfire. And I've got this great bit I'm doing with Abraham. It's really a masterpiece of misdirection.
Well, it appears I've underestimated you.
Misunderestimated me.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
All right, mission accomplished.
Well, it sounds like you don't really need me. I mean, it seems like you have everything under control here.
That's an illusion, my friend, because we have this little thing we're working on. Nobody can figure this out. Take a look at that. Let me know what you think.
Fossils?
Fossils, yeah. It's basically the entire fossil record. If we're going to make this 6-day thing work, we got to figure out how to make these things look really, really old.
How old are we talking?
Really old, like millions or billions of years. I mean, obviously we're going to have to prematurely age them because we don't really have the time. But these things need to look like they've been to hell and back.
Hell and back, huh?
Yeah, right. So, any ideas?
Hell and back. I'd call Gary Busey.
Thank you all for coming. Since the previous episode of Mr. Deity and the Ghost, I have been charged with engaging in the vile and wholly unworthy practice of stereotyping. Despite the fact that this show has, from the beginning, used stereotypes of all kinds for the purposes of humor, Some of the people who enjoyed the previous stereotyping have now taken offense to my joking about the complete and utter failure of the British dental/orthodontic community. And rightly so. Those who took offense challenged me to discover the source of this vile mischaracterization that they suffer from bad teeth, the British. And I must now admit that I have been entirely unable to reveal the source thereof. Indeed, my failure to source this rancid slander made me question whether racial and national stereotypes have any truth to them whatsoever. To my chagrin, I have been confronted with what can only be described as a vast conspiracy of lies and deception so bold and brazen as to baffle the human mind. My journey, which began in England, turned immediately to nearby Ireland, where I discovered that there is absolutely no basis in fact for the hateful stereotype of the Irish people being prone to strong drink. In fact, alcohol was banned in Ireland shortly after the closing of the Second Vatican Council in 1965, and no Irishman since, either at home or abroad, has indulged in the consumption of alcoholic beverages. Hard to believe, but true. Likewise, the libelous stereotype that the French are in some way less clean and or prone to a certain je ne sais quoi, malodorous stench is in every respect unfounded as well. Again, the truth here is exactly the opposite. The French have in fact been shown to be among the world's most bone odorous people in the world, bathing on average 5 to 6 times a day, 7 to 10 on weekends and national holidays. In fact, we have the French to thank for making the world a better smelling place, as it is the French who invented perfume, or as they like to say, parfum. Without their creativity and resourcefulness, eau de toilette might have an entirely different, even unpleasant meaning. Black people have also suffered at the hands of those who would stereotype them as rhythmically gifted. Even the most cursory survey will dispel this wicked myth, showing that the greatest drummers of all time really have not been black, but white. In fact, lily white. Buddy Rich, Bill Bruford, Neil Peart, Phil Collins, Karen Carpenter, all white men. Bernard Purdy is an exception to that rule rather than a natural and obvious inclusion or admission. Finally, in attempting to reveal the source of the bad teeth stereotype, I stumbled upon a vast labyrinthine network of conspirators whose sole purpose for the last 30 years has been to vex the British population and keep them from showing their otherwise perfectly aligned pearly whites. From the writers of The Simpsons to Canadian-born comedian and creator of the Austin Powers trilogy, Mike Myers, people have conspired to keep the British people down with these unwarranted falsehoods. Can there be any doubt that the IRA are intricately involved? After all, we know the Irish are all Anglo-hating bastards who, despite the revulsion for hard liquor, are terrorists at heart. Don't we know that? Please, come on. Let's not joke around anymore. Let's just say it right out. Having discovered the truth, I have decided to turn over a new leaf, and from this point on, I will no longer be engaging in any type of racial stereotyping, be it racial, national, or genderal. My deepest apologies to anyone who may have been hurt. I'm terribly sorry. I would love to stick around and take some questions from the audience here, but I have already been terribly rude to my evangelical and Mormon friends who await my appearance at their God Hates Fags rally. So I'm going to just thank you all for coming, and thank you for watching.